Hello, cartoon crew. You're here with Leah Lopez,
Isabella Servant,
and Bray Kaplan.
And this is
Where Did the Time Go?
Where'd all the time go? It's starting to fly.
A podcast where we dive into TV shows from our childhoods, your childhoods, Gen Z childhoods. We get deep and talk about everything under the sun associated with them. Today's episode, we'll be discussing Bubble Guppies, Jake and the Neverland Pirates, and the Magic School Bus. Fan favorites, of course.
I feel like all of us in our lives really focus on a lot of this, cartoon shows, even if they not as noticeable. They build a huge part of our childhood, what we wanted to do in the future. Watching the Magic School Bus, I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm going to go one day to school and then I'm going to get on a bus and my teacher's going to take me to somebody's stomach.
No, I feel like every kid at some point, watching the Magic School Bus was like, today my teacher told me we're going to go on a field trip. Imagine, I feel like Miss Frizzle's just going to magically appear and take me on some crazy field trip. I feel like every kid wanted to be in her class.
For me, it was less about oh yeah, this is gonna happen, but more I need to be Miss Frizzle. That is going to be me.
Honestly, it was a lingo between, am I scared or is this cool, Watching, I remember going into my science class every single day. That was a staple. My teacher would play it and I was like, okay, so we're just going into people's bodies now. But also it's cool, how was every student calm about the fact that their teacher is taking them to space and other places under the sun? What's going on?
Baby's first body horror. It was honestly, I think it's a great line to walk because it is both educational, it's fun, it's great. It starts you on this whole path of just loving television and loving science and all of that.
I feel like the concept behind the Magic School Bus was so well thought of because, it started off as a book series, if you didn't know.
I didn't until yesterday.
Yes. Yeah, the books were created a long time ago. I believe the first book was made in 1986. And then they adapted it into this TV show so that obviously, because as new times come, new technology, you need to reach new audiences. So TV, best way. And I feel like the concept of a teacher with her magical school bus that's taking you on adventures to learn about science, to learn about anatomy and the planets and everything. I only know my planets because of the Magic School Bus, and I stand on that.
I still don't know my planets. I'm going to be so honest with you.
I just know Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, and anything that comes before those, I don't know. But I know because Miss Frizzle taught me. Her dress said it all.
I feel like the Magic School Bus was really ahead of its time for when it was produced. It came out, I believe, 1994. Yeah.
I love that old animation style. It just felt so comforting. That specific style where it's just a little bit grainy and the animation's a bit slow just felt so familiar.
Okay, can we talk about the remake that they made? They have a whole remake.
Oh, no, yes.
It looks
so
funky.
The Magic School Bus rides again. Oh, no. Okay, so, the Magic School Bus originally was pretty good. Some people like the animation style. Some people were eh. So I guess with the fact that new times come new people, they tried to adapt it into a newer version for the younger generation. Don't do that. No.
I just feel like it's never going to be the same. Obviously, it's a great way to aim to teach kids because again, the major point or the main point from the Magic School Bus was to teach kids about science in a more entertaining way without making them read a book. Yeah. And they tried to replicate that, but I feel like it's just not the same. When you watch those old shows, you're oh my God, it looks so crisp and it looks so old timey and the intro, it just felt so nostalgic. And now you watch it and you have Lin-Manuel Miranda singing the intro for the Magic School Bus.
Around down Main Street, relaxed and feeling good. Next thing
with the accent,
you're singing.
Also, I love that the late 90s is considered old timey.
But for us it is. And it doesn't mean that because I was born 2010, but the Magic School Bus was made way before us, but I feel like even if it was made before your time, it's something that you grew up with because it's what your parents make you watch, because it's what they saw that came out at the time. It just aired at that time.
Yeah, because it came out in 1994, but I mean, even people who were born in 2010 and even 2013 still grew up on the Magic School Bus to some degree. That's how you know it's a good show.
It's the same thing with music. Like it's just the same thing where you grow up listening to your parents' music and then you just kind of start to love that and go down that rabbit hole. But my full respect to the team of the new one. I mean, it looks great. Honestly, it's a little bit freaky having come from the old one, but still my full respect to the team. I think they did it really well for what it became.
I do wish that there were some things that were a little bit different. Like, I wish that they didn't cancel the show after only 4 seasons. I think it could have been something better if it would have lasted longer. And I feel like they could have broadened their horizons. Cause yeah, there were episodes where we talked about like the planets and stuff like that. And they gave some really good facts that I didn't even learn in science class, that I learned from them. But I also feel like their ways of delivering things, like as a kid, I was watching it and like I knew the facts, but I didn't fully understand what was going on in the show. I was just like, oh, they're taking them on a field trip. Nice. Now we're magically inside someone's colon. Nice.
Talking about the space stuff, I think it was the first episode. I remember this girl, Janet, was Arnold's cousin?
Arnold's cousin.
She just came into the class, not her class, by the way, interrupted their field trip. And she was like hating on like the teacher and was hating on like the whole class and everybody ever. Like, if you don't want to be here, then leave.
Oh yeah, the first episode, she comes in and she's like, I'm like literally the best. I have
This
literally.
is in the reboot, yeah?
Yeah. No. This is the original.
This is the original,
She's
yeah.
like, I have all A's. I'm the smartest ever. But like, you keep telling me that your teacher takes you on wild field trips. So like, where's your proof, bro? Where's the proof?
And then didn't she like freeze up and die? And didn't they leave her in space?
I don't know if it was her or Arnold, but one of them, like they were on
I don't think they left Arnold. Well,
no, they didn't leave him,
honestly,
but
they do hate on him like that sometimes.
I do know that one of them took off their helmet though and they froze and it was just like, oh.
He's just my sweet little nerd. Leave him alone.
No, I feel bad for Arnold because every single episode he's like, please let this be a normal field trip with the frizz. No,
I agree with him. They were taking them everywhere. Like, oh my God, why am I up inside somebody's guts? Like, what's going on?
I feel like everyone either loves or hates Arnold. Like, and there really isn't any in between. There's no neutral feelings about Arnold.
Honestly, though, overall, I feel like the Magic School Bus was a pretty good show. It had its shortcomings, like the fact that it didn't last long. The animation was just kind of iffy compared to today's animation. And it was honestly a little bit overstimulating. I'm not going to lie, because like it would go 1 to 100 real quick. And then like kids didn't fully, like watching it again today, I didn't fully grasp just how like uncensored some of the stuff is. Cause like, honestly, I feel like as a kid, I would have been scared if I got baked into a pie, but you know, that's just pretty normal back then.
Honestly, looking back at Miss Frisch, she should not have been around children. Like,
You know somebody else who should not be around children?
Oh my God.
You guys remember Jake and the Neverland Pirates, right?
Yeah.
Keep Peter Pan away! Oh my God, I would watch that show and the only thing I could think about was like, Peter Pan kidnapped those children.
And then he's taking them to their island so that they never get old.
Okay, but you know what? Like, little kids weren't thinking about it like that. So, from a little kid stance, because I still hold that in my heart, I think the show was also pretty good.
It's that modern lens that, like, you're looking back on it now and, like, with current events, which we're not going to get super into on here, but just, it's a little bit different looking back on it now.
Yeah, Jake and the Neverland Pirates is also like a newer show. It came out in 2011. So like it just had like newer stuff. It was really overstimulating though. I just remember like these crazy adventures every other episode. And I was like, okay, so you guys are like 8. Where are we going? Why are we like hanging from trees? Why are we like going in the jungle, doing some crazy stuff, drowning in rivers? What's going on?
Honestly, I was here for it. Like
that episode.
some of the things they said were just like kind of not accurate, where they were like, good pirates never steal. Buddy, I don't think that.
I'll give them an A for effort on the fact of like they were trying to teach kids like good values and morals. But understanding that the characters were indeed pirates, I mean, you know, if you're looking at this from an older lens, you know that pirates are like known for stealing and
They're water criminals.
water criminals.
Water
but
criminals, that's what we're calling them now.
And then they were fighting against, it's like, oh, I'm the good pirate, and Big Boy over there is a bad pirate. Oh my god.
Can we take a second for Smee? I feel so bad for Smee because like
He is my guy.
like Smee was never evil to the kids that I know of. Like he never really did anything. He just like kind of put up with Captain Hook. But I feel bad
gotta
for
pay
like
the bills,
Smee because Smee, yeah, he had to pay the bills. You know what? Yeah.
It was like you know, every single time I think about like Smee and then Captain Hook, I just see like enemies to lovers type of
You see, I don't know about that
he
one.
was there for like, hey, that's my buddy.
Oh, Smee, I can't stand it any longer. I tell you, I can't. No. Just relax.
That's Dada. I know Dada. Like,
Okay, guys, let's cut this.
but enough about Smee though. Let's
Smee and Captain Hook's romance. Okay.
honestly though, going into it, the creator, he's like cooked, like not cooked, but like he's cooking because you know the same guy who made Jake and the Neverland Pirates is the same one that was working on Minnie Mouse Clubhouse, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Yeah,
No, Minnie Mouse rules. Woman in man fields, okay?
Okay, no. But he also worked on Minnie's Bow Tunes, which if you know, you know. Minnie's Bow Tunes.
That
were
was fire. I actually like that better than
It was like the little like during Mickey Mouse Clubhouse episode, they would have like at the end like Minnie's Bow Tunes, where it was always like Minnie in her little like boutique and
oh my
like
god, I remember
they were like
they had like the flippy floor.
yeah,
good show.
Yeah.
Didn't he also work on Hercules?
Yeah, he did.
Which is like an epic
Fire movie. by
And
the
for
way.
those who know, niche reference, Leroy and Stitch. He was also on that one. If you know, you know.
Oh, I never watched that one.
Me neither.
Too niche.
But, you know, Jake and the Neverland Pirates had a very short running. It only ran from like 2011 till I want to say 2016. So it didn't last long.
That's about where I should have stopped.
Yeah, that's like, I started watching it at that age and just stopped running until there.
Like it ran from when we were like 2 to like 5. But like, honestly, I feel like it
6, 7-ish.
Okay, get that. By the way, for those listening in at home, this is one of our co-hosts, co-producers. This is Christian. Say hi, Christian.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
He's keeping up to see we don't really
he's
do
hanging
anything
out.
much.
Don't worry about him.
But, you know, I think it had a lot of potential, and them canceling it so soon after only 5 years really like it killed me, you know? Like the episodes were just so captivating for kid audiences. Cause I know like as a kid, I put myself into the little girl's shoes. I forgot her name, but there's 3 characters, the 3 main characters, the little 2 boys and the
Gabby,
little
I
girl.
wanna say?
Yeah, I think her name was like something on the lines of that. And I used to always put myself in her shoes and be like, you know, I want to be a hero. I want to save the treasure from Captain Hook, you know? And I feel like that show did a really good job at inspiring kids to be leaders and to be unique and on their own, you know? Be their own type of person.
Yeah, I think it inspired me to like, you know, go out into a forest and just like do stuff a bit because, okay, this might be just a me experience, but, I would like go outside and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go be a pirate in the like 3-inch creek behind my house. It was a tiny little thing, but there were like, you know, little fish in there. And so I was like, oh yeah, pirate. It was great.
It definitely was a very creative show. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, I definitely watched it, but I know a lot of people who don't know about the show, I thought this was like a really popular show.
Yeah, same.
Disney discontinued the show like way later because they wanted to implement new Disney stuff and they just wanted to like get
their losses.
Yeah. They did like a lot of the stuff for like gaining the money, and sadly Jake and the Neverland Pirates was not one of them.
I guess they just looked at the like success of Peter Pan and they're like, let's profit off of that. But honestly, in all honesty, Peter Pan is not that great. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
It's
giving up,
Okay, Okay, the racist jokes, man.
Like, do we remember the Indian scene? Because
They had a whole song called "What Made the Red Man Red." That's not. You can't say.
Yeah, no.
Guys, it was the olden times. Not that it's okay, but
Let's just say olden times. It was like what, 15 years
let's
ago?
leave it up to those people. We don't talk about that no more.
But, you know, I like the fact that they tried to, like, make something positive out of a past mistake, you know? Like, they tried to bring light to something that in the past they might not have done so well with.
You'll start to notice a common trend as we move forward of shows that have a ton of potential and then get canceled really early on. So just keep that in mind as we keep going.
Yeah, like Jake and the Neverland Pirates never got, like, it's like momentum, it's like star, like, you know, you're in the spotlight type of like show. It was just like thrown out there, didn't really work, and then Disney was like, yeah, you're done.
It kind of worked. Like, I feel like it did have a good audience viewing. Like, a lot of people I knew watched it. I just feel like they threw the idea out there and they, like, drove it to a climax and then just cut it off. Like, it was starting to get pretty good. Like, we see Peter Pan on screen for the first time, which he looks a little interesting, and then we see Wendy and, like, the kids and whatever in one of the episodes or whatever. So it was, like, hitting a climax where it was, like, actually going somewhere. And then they just cut it. And, you know, that's just interesting, Disney.
Disney has a habit of doing that where they ramp this up where it's right about to make its big star moment and then no.
They just cut it. Like, obviously it's catered to like little kids, but like, listen, I noticed when they were like, yeah, oh my god, we're like on this awesome adventure, and then next episode we forgot everything. Like,
You know, there's, like, another TV show out there that has a lot of adventures. You know what show I'm talking about?
Bubble Guppies! Guppies! Bubble, bubble, bubble. Guppy, guppy, guppy. Bubble, bubble. Guppy, guppy. Bubble, guppy.
I feel like every episode they were up to something. And, you know, I think out of all of the shows that we'll probably talk about, I think Bubble Guppies might be the only one that has, like, music that I would genuinely listen to on its own. Like, I don't need the TV show to watch.
I don't know. I mean, we're gonna talk about this one later for sure, but Curious George. You can't do Curious George like that.
Nah.
But Bubble Guppies, bro. Okay, so
it was such a musical show. Like,
it was.
I remember watching it, and I could not watch Bubble Guppies like standing, like I would be like standing up. I couldn't be sitting down because I would make my own like choreos to the songs that they would like. Yeah, it was great.
Issa was in the living room giving her parents a show like, oh yeah.
Pencil case,
Pencil case, pencil case.
I was here like moving. Okay,
We gotta clip that in for you guys so you guys can hear Pencil Case.
Pencil Case is amazing.
It's amazing.
sadly copyright, so you won't get to hear the whole thing, although you should go to YouTube and listen to it.
Yes, go on YouTube, look up our Pencil Case, go watch it. It's so good.
I think everybody should have at least like 3 Bubble Guppy songs in their playlist. It's peak, it's nostalgic. It's just...
What I will say though is I like their music, but I do think the show is incredibly overstimulating. Like I used to watch it as
There's
a kid
a lot
and
of
be
bright colors.
Be like, I like getting flashbangs. Like every 4 seconds, it's like, boom, boom, new color. I'm like, okay, we're just pink now, I guess. And now we're orange and I guess we're all green now.
Bubble Guppies was one of those shows I was also trying to cater to education, like the Magic School Bus. But I feel like it sidetracked a lot from that. Like, I would be watching it and then like, oh my god, guys, do you know that you have to eat your veggies? Which are not veggies.
Okay, I have something to say about that. All right, so I got really bored one time and researched this because I saw a post about it and I was like, no way, that's true. Vegetables aren't real. They're a culinary term, not a scientific one. They don't actually exist.
Why are we going on a tangent?
I'm not gonna lie, I did not know that, but like,
well, Bubble Guppies didn't know that either.
you know, I swear in one of the episodes they said that tomatoes were a vegetable, and I was like, aren't they a fruit though? Could something have seeds?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the tomatoes are like a vegetable, which like, no.
I don't know, but Bubble Guppies is just doing their thing, you know.
It was a lot more about
They had a dog in the water. I repeat. They had a swimming dog. Concoction of a dog. It was a dog with a tail.
Okay,
swimming in the water.
I think all dogs have
I need to
tails.
picture something for you. Okay.
I'm pretty sure all dogs
Picture
have tails.
the head of a dog with the body of a fish, okay?
That's literally what they had.
It's a seal.
it's not a seal. It's a dog. It was a dog.
But picture.
They should have just had a
dog.
seal. They should have just had a seal. And also they had trees in the ocean.
Okay, so clearly it was a lot more friendship focused than facts. It was a lot more about the power of friendship, and honestly, here for it.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna draw it to SpongeBob for a second. You know, SpongeBob did a good job at like showing us that it was indeed under the sea, but also this was like a whole economic and social like thing going on. Like they had their own world under the sea, you know? And it just made sense. Like it makes sense for a pineapple to hypothetically be under the sea because you know what, that's fine. But like Bubble Guppies, it's like they tried to do the same concept where like it makes somewhat sense for these animals to be living under the water, but they just made it so similar to like what we would see on land that it was just like, okay, so you're telling us you just took land and just poured water all over it. Like
I have something really important to say. Besides the whole wrong factual stuff that they were trying to educate us on, but they really failed. Talking about grown men with kids. Mr. Grouper? Was that not his name?
It was.
The big fish, the big orange fat fish. I thought he was a little bit creepy.
I felt like he was an off.
Donald Trump.
Oh, okay. Oh, I just feel like he was an off. Like, I feel like in multiple episodes, the students definitely could, like, I wonder where he's at half of the time. Because unless they're going on a field trip or doing something, I don't see the man. Like, they'll be, like, doing, like, a whole song mantra, like, oh my god, my vegetables, my pencil case, this and that. And I'm like, where is Mr. Grouper at? Mr. Grouper, your students are channeling their inner Victorious. Like, they're out here singing and dancing on tables. Like,
aren't you supposed to look out for them? And then also he was like a stalker, low-key. Like, I don't know. I just didn't like Mr. Grouper. He was kind of concerning. His voice was way too deep for my taste. It was sounding like Corpse over here, like, kids, we are going to eat our vegetables.
so I don't think
I don't like
I don't remember that one.
No, okay, but that is what he sounded like.
But that is what he sounded like.
I would have to hear a clip because there's no way.
We did, for those listening in at home, before we did this episode, we watched a little bit of each of these shows just so that we could, like, you know, refresh and look back with newer perspective. And some of the things they were a little bit funky. I know Isabella here had some strong opinions on Nani.
Honestly, Nani was like a chill guy, you know, but he made me kind of uneasy sometimes. Like, watching some of the episodes back then, they'd like say something, it's like, okay, what if like, I don't even remember, like they say like, okay, we're gonna do this, and he'd be like, yeah, we're gonna do that.
Just, he was giving commentary on everything for some reason, background character for real.
Same.
He was
Honestly,
chill though.
I think that Bubble Guppies did a good job when it came to like getting kid audiences, like, and when I say kid, I mean like under the age of like 4, to like sit down and watch it. Because I feel like, yeah, at one end you were getting up and dancing if you were watching this, but on the other hand, I feel like when the episode was just normally running and there was no songs playing, you were just sitting there watching it. I will say though, I don't think there's much sustenance to the show. Like, I feel like as an older kid, I wouldn't watch this. Like, this is one of the shows that I wouldn't revisit because of the fact that it's like, oh, you have bones in your body. And the whole episode is just about having bones in your body, but it doesn't teach you anything beyond that. And I mean, that's good for kids, like little kids, but older kids, I don't see them watching this and actually being entertained.
It doesn't have as much plot as I remember it having. Like, episodic is great, but I thought it had more plot within each episode. It was just one thing happens and then they talk about that one thing for, 10, 20 minutes? How long were the episodes? Were they 11 or 20?
About like 20 minutes. Yeah. Watching Bubble Guppies, I just feel like I was getting etched the whole time. Like, I feel like that's kind of like a strategy that they use for people to keep watching this show. I was waiting for more information, for more plot. Like, I wanted to know, like, for example, that episode about the broken bones. This little fish, he broke his, like, tail and stuff. And only later on is that we knew anything about him. Like, it progressed too slow. And they'd repeat so many of the same things that it'd be like, okay, he has bones. Let's move on.
I feel like why a lot of little kids were like on this show, like peanut butter is on jelly, you know. I feel like one of the reasons though was mostly just because of the colorfulness of it. Like there was just colors everywhere. And like as an older kid, watching that makes me feel so overstimulated. But as a little kid, that was just like, yes, new color. But it's just, all up in your face.
Y'all hear about that new color drop? Like,
oh yeah, no, that new turquoise,
I remember I had like a sleepover once in Minnesota. I was like with my cousins. We were really little, and Bubble Guppies came on, and I feel like once you're like stressed and all this stuff, Bubble Guppies was one of those shows like I would watch it to like space out because it was so overstimulating to the point where it's like you really had to pay attention, so it would like leave your mind out of some of the things that you didn't want to think about. I was like, okay, guys, I am mad right now. I'm just gonna watch my Bubble Guppies, and it's gonna be amazing.
Guppies?
Yeah, my Guggle.
I'm not gonna lie, Mr. Grouper kind of reminds me of my dad. So sometimes I'll be watching it and I'll be like, oh, yeah. I feel like it was a comfort show for me only because like the fish reminded me of my dad for some reason.
In one episode, Mr. Grouper was playing like sick, and he like turned around fully, like he looked dead. Isn't that how fish die? Like, oh.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think the fish terminology was on point with that though. Like I feel like as a show, being realistic with like the setting, it did a good and bad job. Cause like I mean, we had the fish and like they had fins and everything, and like they had like X-rays with their bones and everything. So like it was realistic in that way. I'm not gonna lie though, the ambulance being ran on like clearly on a motor. It's just I'm saying like under the water. That's not making it. It's not.
And it's not like they could have not made it like, oh, it's an ambulance, it's a kid's show, it's whatever. But again, talking about like SpongeBob, which was highly invested into the ocean topics, they had like boats and like, you know.
Yeah, they had boats as cars and they had propellers on things.
Yeah, and then you just have like an ambulance of wheels and like a motor.
I feel like overall, these shows that we've chosen to talk about today were all really good in their own ways. I mean, if you take a look at the Magic School Bus, educationally wise, it was pretty ahead of its time. You know, we all learned something from it.
Yeah, I feel like out of the shows we discussed today was the most of like educational purpose, and they did a really good job educating
Yeah,
kids.
it was fun, educational, and that one balanced everything out really nicely. Jake and the Neverland Pirates was very adventurous and fun, although it although its educational value wasn't as high as some of the others.
It was more for you to daydream and really be like, guys, I want to be a pirate and I want to swing on trees. I like that.
Every show has its up and downs. The same way that Magic School Bus was kind of like ahead of its time in its way, so that I feel like that contributed to its like not so. It was successful, but I feel like it could have been more if it was made in a more recent time. And then Jake and the Neverland Pirates being cut off before it was really able to be made big. And we don't even need to touch on Bubble Guppies. Bubble Guppies is just, yeah, they just boom, color.
Yeah, Bubble Guppies is just color, happiness, kind of educational joy and singing.
That one was like Jake and the Neverland Pirates in that it's about friendship and it's about some of those softer values as opposed to facts.
Yeah.
So it really did do well, and I remember having a lot of fun with it as a kid. Although, like we're saying, there were some things that could have been improved.
It was a really popular show. Everybody I've talked to remembers something about Bubble Guppies. And it's still a popular show today because it's still running. It's still up and going.
Yeah, unlike the Magic School Bus and Jake and the Neverland Pirates, Bubble Guppy is a trooper for that one. He's thugging it out. He's still going. But that has been all today. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you, guys.
I hope you guys got some nostalgia about the days that you would stay home sick watching the Magic School Bus, or, you know, just jamming out to Bubble Guppies, because certainly I did.
Or maybe you're saving treasure from pirates. Who knows?
Or maybe you're just chilling. Bye now.
It's been a pleasure being your host. This was
Isabella Servant,
Ray Kaplan,
and Leah Lopez. Thank you for tuning into
Where Does Time Go?
Where'd all the time go? It started to fly.